Hey, good morning, traders. Well, before the weekend begins, I wanted to just give you about six altcoins that I'm taking a look at. I'm expecting a pop from. You guys know from my current trade history that I'm pretty much all in right now in altcoins. It's a little bit risky considering where Bitcoin is at and what I expect it to do. We'll go over that in just a second. But I still think that we will have a little bit of an altcoin pop before Bitcoin drops to that $31,600 mark, and then the altcoins shall follow. Let's just jump into the charts here and I will show you what I'm looking at. All right, so we'll start with Bitcoin as always. Bitcoin is in this ascending triangle, which is actually bearish. But what what I have observed on these triangles is sometimes, even though they're bearish, we don't necessarily just drop straight out of the triangle. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll pop to the upside of the triangle and hit some sort of resistance before we then proceed, come back into the triangle and then come back down. All right, so that's kind of what I'm expecting on this. And of course, we got some big support underneath us. So to hit 31,600 way down here is gonna take something. I don't know what it is, but it's going to take something to get us through that support now, because we are on the upside of that. And really, who knows? We could continue up into next year before we come back down. At some point in the future, we will take that 31,600. It could be 6 months from now. The thing is, I am never been very good at timing. But nevertheless, we are in this triangle, and I do think that we will continue now till we take that 39,500 resistance, and that's going to drag altcoins along with it. It'll be quick, mark my words on that, but I think we have a chance here over the weekend to hit some of these. Before I jump into the six altcoins I want to cover for potential future entries, I'm just going to quickly rotate through the entries that I've already made, and you that have been following me know this. First of all, Stellar Lumens, we're in this massive bullish triangle, and this gives us a good target up. This is a 3-to-1 ratio trade here, risk reward ratio. And you're looking at, from my entry price of around 11.8 cents all the way up to somewhere in the 19-cent mark. So almost doubling that entry. And that's why I went pretty big into Stellar. All right, LTC, I see a nice little trade here, and we're well in the profits on this one as well. We've got some resistance up ahead of us, at which point I may take, I don't know, 50% off the table, 25%, something like that, and then move my stop limit up. But I do want to take that that $74 mark before I do that. And as always, the spreadsheet that I have on my site showing and tracking these different trades, don't necessarily update it live. It's just a lot of work to do. Just know the way that I trade. All right, the way that I trade is once I'm in the green, once I'm in the profit. And like, for instance, let's just zoom in here real quick on Litecoin, and I'm just going to show you here what I'm talking about. So once we jump up here and hit this resistance, I would then take my stop, which is right now at 62. And I don't want to mess this up, but I would move my stop up probably to break even. That way I'm assured that I'm not going to lose money on this trade. I'm at least going to break even. All right, and then also I'm going to take 25 to 50% off the table, because I don't know that we're necessarily going to go up to 81.80. That's my target. And should we break through that and move right up, I may not take anything off. But you see what I'm saying? I kind of watch these trades in live, as much as I can. I can't be tied to the screen necessarily, but if I'm watching this and I see quick movement and we just break right through that resistance, at that point I would decide I'm not going to take any off the table because the price action was quick enough to do. And so I'm just kind of giving you a little of the way that I trade these things right now, because I want you to store that information in the back of your minds as we look at these other entries I'm going to give you for the weekend, because they may or may not move quickly. And to be safe, I want you to, if you don't have the capability of doing trailing stops, which like for me, I don't. I mean, I could do it through 3 commas, but they have been hacked so many times. I just don't prefer that type of security risk. Even though this is a small account that we're trading right now, I mean, at some point in the future, it could grow bigger, and I just don't want to get into the habit of using insecure methods to provide myself with trailing stops. Some of the exchanges do give you trailing stops, some don't, so you kind of have to adjust it. And I've found that if you know what you're doing, automation is not necessarily your friend all the time, because automation can kick you out of these trades, and then the market movers can move these trades up again. All right, nevertheless, I am rambling here, and I want to kind of keep this short. This is BICO. We're in this. The target here is 32 cents, and entry was 25, so that's good profit there on that one as well. Matic is also in the profit. It's almost time to start moving these stop limits up on some of these trades that we have entered. All in the profit on these last 4 trades. Only one I'm not in the profit yet on is XRP, surprisingly, because that has been our best over the past year. Really, our best trading has come from XRP. All right, then ARB, I'm in the profit on that one as well. And again, I probably will not move my stops up until we hit that $1.08 resistance level. All right, so now on to a few of the other alts that I'm looking at. I'm in 90% of my trading portfolio right now, which really means that I think is quite bullish for alts, right? And that's the way you can gauge that. But there are a few that I'm still looking at. DOT is interesting because we were in this bullish descending channel and then broke back above it. And we could be forming somewhat of a double top here. So I want to be careful because that will act as resistance. But I would be interested in entry here at $5.36. Let me zoom in again so you can see that a little bit better. So we're almost there. I mean, actually, we wicked down and touched it right here. All right. So that was a good entry area. I'm probably not going to enter any of these trades because I only have 10% of my portfolio, and I don't necessarily want to go. I'm not 100% confident that we are going to get this this pop over the weekend. But I do think that it's worth considering and worth taking a little bit of risk because weekends tend to be lately a good time for altcoins to pop. And so DOT is one of those. If you could get it at $5.36, even better. I don't know if it's going to go back down and touch that, though. We already wicked down once. And then the target here, short-term target, these are just short trades, would be $5.71. That would be our resistance here at the top here. All right. And Gods is another one that I like to watch. It's been moving a lot lately. I mean, we came all the way from 12 cents all the way up to what, 40. Man, this thing has over tripled in just the last 2 or 3 weeks. All right, so this one really moves, and we broke out of this channel to the upside of this channel, which is actually bearish, but we went to the top side of that, and I knew that we were going to continue once we got above this 32 cent. Let me get out my arrow here. This 32 cent area support. All right. And now we have formed a bull flag. All right. So you want to watch this. If you can catch this at 32 cents, that'd be great, because I have a feeling that we are going to pop to the upside of this triangle again. And we're going to at least go to this level right here, which I don't have drawn yet. Now I do. 39 cents. We're going to at least go there, but we could go all the way up here to this next level because of the way that God's moves at 44 cents. So that's some good profit there, and that's another one that I am looking at and possibly considering entering the last 10%, though I really have to find a good setup to do that, guys. And that's the reason why I'm just showing you. If you're not in any altcoins over the weekend, I would at least take a look at these. I'm not telling you what to do, but these look fairly attractive from my point of view. All right, let's go on to Powr here. Powr's another one. Look at this bull flag. And RSI's in decent territory. Remember, I said I like taking entries between 40 and 60 on a bullish move. We're right there at 52 on the RSI. And up here, we are just about ready to exit this triangle, my friends. Now, could we drop to the bottom side? Yes, and that has happened many times. You guys know in a bear market, we've seen that many times. What looks to be forming a bullish flag instead will drop to the downside. But the probability on these bull flags suggests we go up. And if we do go up, the level I'm looking at here is 41 cents. All right, that comes from way, way back. I'm not sure how far back. Let me zoom out, see if I can spot it. All right, we have a pivot here way back in May of 2022 and some more pivots here. All right, so that looks like it's a fairly good level of resistance if we can get that high. Of course, the first level of resistance, again, which I don't have drawn, would be the top of these two candles here, which, you know, again, that could form a double top, and that could provide enough resistance that we don't go any farther. Either way, you're looking at an entry of 26 cents as of this video, all the way to 35 cents or 41 cents on Powr. That's pretty attractive. Another one that I was in, and of course, exited with good profit. First time I exited 75% for 20% profit. And then the second, then I moved my stops up as I do, as my strategy once I was in that profit. And I had my stops set so that I still netted 10% profit of the remaining 25%. And got stopped out here on this bull flag. That's okay. Still got 10% profit on the last 25%. Looks like Ape wants to even go further. And I would say, of course, you're going to run into just a bit of resistance again at those two candles. But you're going to also hit resistance here at that 200-day moving average, which is swooping down fairly rapidly. And that would be actually my target on this bull flag, would be the 200-day moving average. So you're looking at an entry right now of 159, and you're going to go to 179 would be my final target. Of course, taking some off the top along the way at the first resistance point of 169. I would probably, if I was in that trade, take 50% off. Because Ape doesn't, hasn't actually made any of those big, massive pops like God's has, and like some of the others, AVAX and Solana, hasn't really done that yet. And I know that's due, but I just don't know when. So you don't want to just leave 100% in expecting that this is the time. Might not be, guys. All right, and then we got Storj here. Storj is looking good. Now, the one thing I don't like about Storj is, again, expecting a pullback because of what Bitcoin is going to do. Sometime in the future, Bitcoin's going to come down to that 31,600. I don't know when, but from a technical standpoint, that is due, and the probability suggests that we will come back down and touch 31,600. I would say the probability is 85% that we're going to do that. So when is the big question? But onto Storj. Storj is showing us that that's going to happen as well. These right here, guys, these don't hold up for a long time. So this is telling us, it's like you get a lot of trading volume, a lot of weight up here. That's going to break at some point. So we are going to come back down to 51 cents on this as well. However, and this is the 51 cents mark. However, this right here is a bull flag. All right. So again, probability suggests that we go further up from here. All right, probably to 91 cents, and currently we're at 74 cents. All right, so that's, good 20% before we come back down eventually and touch that. That's a lot of movement, but volatility is what we like to trade, right, guys? All right, so that's how we take risk when we're trading. You should not just be a trader, but you should also be a hodler to kind of mitigate trading risk and to mitigate holding risk. All right, not all your eggs in one basket. I mean, you can get lucky and become a millionaire overnight, but most of us are not going to do that. So our strategy here is base hits. Probability suggests we are going to pop from this, and we do have some resistance here at 76 cents. All right, but then after that, it's all clear. We're going all the way to 90 cents, I believe, before we hit that and come back down. And maybe we drop all the way to 51 cents. All right, at some point in the future, we are going to hit that down, at least from a technical standpoint. That's what typically occurs. All right, and last coin here is JASMY. JASMY I haven't touched for a long time because it has been bleeding out. You guys know the videos I did on that, showing you developers trading out of this during a bear season. They were just kind of, making it a whole lot worse, getting rid of their coin. But right now it's been on a tear, really, since down here at 0.003 cents. That's crazy to think about. If you consider we were trading it way back when it was 7 cents. And remember that one trade I made? We went from 7 cents to 36 cents. That was a long time ago, but that was hit that one out of the park here. Yeah, and I've tracked all my history here. These green arrows are entries. These red arrows are exits. So I exited some here, and oh, I see. I didn't actually trade it all the way to 36 cents. I wish I would have, but I exited here at 12 cents. Still, we doubled in that trade, and then I entered here at around 12, 13 cents and exited at 25 cents, made another 100% there. Even though I didn't get it all the way to 36 cents, who did? Not very many people. But the fact of the matter is this thing was at 36 cents and now it's at 1/3 of a penny. And that's all due, guys. That's all due to those developers spreading those coins out for whatever their strategy is. I don't know, but I just didn't want to touch it while they were doing that. Now it looks to be bullish again. All right, so we went from 1/3 of a penny to almost a half of a penny. Actually, we did go to a half of a penny, and now it has formed this bull flag. Is that half of a penny? Yeah, that's half of a penny. All right, so now it's formed this bull flag, and of course you are going to get resistance right there at 0.00573. That's just over half of a penny, and we could come down a little bit before we go back up. Come back down to the support or even the bottom of the triangle before we break to the upside of this particular triangle. But this looks like a bull flag. It looks like bullish price action will continue on this one as well. All right, so those are the 6 coins that I am looking at over the weekend. JASMY is a little bit of a laggard. Maybe this one you don't trade till next weekend because it looks like we have some time before we break out of this triangle. So maybe I shouldn't have even brought this one up. But it is attractive to go, to make 20% basically right now, even from here, even though you may lose 10% before you make that 20%. That's your call at this point, based upon your risk tolerance. But we do have some time before this one breaks. All right. So the ones that are looking fairly close to breaking and may break this weekend, Ape could be one of those. All right. Powr, we're getting near the end of this triangle, and Gods is getting close. But the two closest ones are Ape and Powr, and then Gods would be next, and Storj would be next, and then JASMY would be after that in terms of timing, how long you have before they break from these triangles. I have 6 coins here: Dot, Gods, Powr, Ape, Storj, and JASMY. Oh yeah. All right, guys, let me switch to my outro. Hopefully that provided you a few prospects for the weekend, and you can utilize this information and this trading strategy that I utilize in your future trades. I wish you all the best, and hopefully you knock some out of the park. Peace, y'all.